તમે જુઓ જ ને ટીવી
We're live now.
રાડો નહીં પાડો.
Welcome everyone. We are streaming live on YouTube now. I don't know how we'll ask you about some of the feedback today, but over to Pannaman, please.
Okay. So first of all, good evening. Namaste. We are so happy that all of you have joined us promptly on time. Today, we wanted to have interactive discussion to begin with. Last time, Kalind bhai showed us the morning routine. Morning routine, as soon as we wake up, what should we do, what we could do. So first, we like to ask all of you, how many of you had a chance to practice that routine? Just raise your hand. So, Carol, Govind bhai, Harish bhai. So, and any of you would describe what was your experience, how it made you feel? Harish bhai?
Yeah, we'll feel good,
Very nice.
very energetic, and rest of the day is also good, becomes good too.
So how long do you take?
I think it is minimum 3-4 minutes, not more than that.
3-4 minutes. And Suryaben, do you join him?
What practice? One question I do.
Some days.
So just breathe
What?
like this,
Okay.
Just like this.
hold it, little bit, then practice,
Okay.
start it, this, be doing this.
That's all you did. Okay, good. See what practice you did.
And other things, I'm using the spirometer, and volume is 2500. I take it up to.
Okay. So morning is spirometer too?
Yes,
Okay. All right.
I do, because in the morning I'm doing yoga and
No,
pranayam.
our question is only waking up. Question is very specific. Please.
Yeah, waking up, just I'm doing breathing practice.
Yeah. That question is extremely specific. When we introduce some practices for waking up only. Now you may do a lot of things during the day. That's not the question here. And so what the reason for asking this question is very simple. We need to know what practice is helping you. And it would be helpful for you to identify that. That's the reason for asking this question. Go ahead. Who is the next one?
I think Govind bhai.
Yeah, so I did the breathing first and inhalation, exhalation. Then I touch the skin, the cheeks, and smile. Then hold my hand like this and stretch the hand. And I did the movement of the legs from the ankle. I don't think I remembered everything, but I did whatever I remember.
Okay, you did enough. Did you try the sinus massage?
Yeah, that one I did try, yeah.
Okay. And how did you feel? How was your day then?
No, it was really relaxing and refreshing all day. I felt that it was more energetic. Yeah.
So are you doing this every day?
I really didn't do every day because some personal reason I got tired of with some things, but my wife did more than me.
So you understand what questions we'll be asking you.
Yep.
It's going to be like a school here now. This is turning into a school.
That'd be good.
It is going to turn into school. So I know so far everybody had a honeymoon period here, you know. The honeymoon period is getting over now. We'll have to see how much you are doing, because it's nice to have you. We enjoy your smiles, but we enjoy your breathing better. Who is next?
I think Carol, why don't you describe your experience? Carol is one of our expert in the class. So why don't you go ahead?
Well, I've been doing some things like this, so this was great to put everything together. So I do the belly breathing first, usually with the cat on the belly, and then I do the stretching And I love the massage, to massage everything, and smiling. That makes a huge difference, the smiling. And I've tried a little bit of the Kalapati breath, but I have to do that more. I would like to do that more because I haven't really done that a lot. So it just wakes up and you start your day with a smile and feeling good. Oh, and I also do the sinus.
Pranayam,
So that clears my head.
nasal breathing.
Yeah.
How long do
Yeah.
you take to do all this?
5 or 6 minutes, maybe more, a little bit more. I didn't really time it.
No,
I
approximately.
just, yeah, less than 10 minutes.
And so have you been practicing this for a while?
I just started doing this since last week. I have been doing some of the stretching and the belly breathing, but and the sinus, but I didn't put it all together. So, and the smile was new, and that was important.
Okay, anyone else had practiced or want to describe how that made you feel?
Okay. I think we'll let them go today because this was a surprise test and they know now what the surprise is going to be every Wednesday. Be aware that you practice and you find out what is happening with your own body. The intention for this particular practice group and whatever we do in any of the clinics that we have and workshops that we have, the intention is only one: to increase the awareness of breath and how it's working for you. So let's do this. Take a deep breath. Let's sit down nicely and arrange the posture. The posture is important, and get the spine, sit on the, completely on the bottom there. Relax your hand. And what we describe as sit like a mountain, breathe like a baby. Baby breathes with the belly. So sit like a mountain, breathe like a baby. Now, I just want to tell you something about the neck. I may have mentioned that last time. If not, we'll repeat it anyway. But the head, when your head is straight like this, okay, is straight in the same line. The head weighs about 5 to 7 kilograms. It varies, and that's the amount of weight on the neck here, neck muscles. When you bend a little bit, 10 degrees or so, 10, 15 degrees, the weight to the neck muscles is 12 kilograms. When you bend it to 20 or 30 degrees, it goes to about 18 to 20 kilograms. And when you bend 60 degrees, like people do while you are doing the,
Cell phone.
while you are playing the games on this, or whatever you're doing with your cell phone, like this, 60 degrees, the head amount of weight that goes on the neck is 25 kg. No wonder you have neck pains. No wonder we have neck problems. So, in order to adjust that, and also this is important because you have straightened this out, the first portion of the breath is from here to here. And if you adjust the neck, probably your breathing will also be improving. So let's sit with the neck straight. And the way you do this is make it straight, get your finger like this on the chin, push it back a little bit. Push it back. So it straightens out. Okay? Otherwise, it will be down like this, raise up like this, and push it back. So two things. Raise up so that you can look straight at the screen, push it back. Two simple movements, okay? Adjust yourself. So they're adjusted, okay? This is adjustment. Now take a nice breathing in, breathe in and out. And inhale, exhale. Inhale, belly comes out, relax the belly. Exhale. So now we will do tapping. This is tapping, not massage part of it, but tap here. Now tapping, the sinus also helps. You can do massage if you want to, but tapping also helps. So tap one side first, go to the next to the nose, tap. Tapping also wakes you up in the morning easily. You will see the face completely awake. And these are all morning routines. You do the morning routines and see out of, when you get up and you have a calendar, you do this, put a check mark. I did this today. I did this today. Oh, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like that, Check that you did this routine. Just get into a habit of doing it. So, and then I didn't show you this part. I'm going to show you this is the frontal sinus here. So put your two fingers like that and go up and massage that way. Or you can put thumb and massage like this. And I'm going to make a view that is easily recordable here, so that speaker view. There you go. So this is the massage here, up like this. And if you massage it that way, the floor of the sinus is like this. So the floor of the sinus get massaged like that, okay? And then tap over the side here. Whenever you tap, the vibrations go like that. The vibrations go into the cavity, because ultimately the vibrations travel through two areas, the bone here and also the cavity. Cavity is with the air. And so go sideways like this. And then do the massage on the tapping on the gum area. I told you the gum area is important because that also will transmit all the vibrations in the sinus. Take a deep breath. Breathe in, continue breathing in and out as you do this. Tap, tap. Then you do the ear massage. Now, every point, lung point is represented. So in the ear, next to this area, just underneath, put your finger like that inside. And then the floor of that area, both sides, you massage there. That's the lung point. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. This is a lung point. It increases the exchange of your oxygen, and it sends a message to the lung. These meridians are connected through the brain to the organ. Next thing I'm going to show you today, for the little bit of additional stuff here, before we move to the next one, is in the hand massage. So when you massage your hand, there are two areas. This area right on the thumb, this is the lung area. So massage the lung area with one hand and go all the way up. This is the lung, and all the way the tip is the brain area in the lung. So you massage like so, go up. Okay. Now, easy to remember, you can do both sides massage, and you can tap it also. Tap. Tap. Now, you remember Deepak Bhai has shown you the mudra. The mudra was similar to like this. When we were doing this, was going into the lung area. This is what we did the mudra one time, 2 and 3 both, and this was going into the lung area here. You remember that part. You'll probably see it in the previous video, and I hope you can hear it. Now, when you do this, it massages the lung area. Now, easy to remember this, that we have the other side is the heart area, heart and circulation. This is lung, this is heart and circulation. So the heart and circulation travels along this. As you know, people get pain along the inside of the arm, you see, inside of the arm like that. They get, when the angina attack, angina goes this way. And why the angina pain goes inside? That is something that medical science tells you, that when the heart pain is there, heart pain goes this way. But why? Doctors don't have an answer to that. The answer is very simple, that the meridians are located that way. Even the cardiologist, I'm interested in knowing if the cardiologist, they know that. That's
Any arm,
that's where
Professor?
the thing, excuse me,
Right hand or left hand?
Yeah, Bharat.
both sides, both sides,
Okay.
both sides. Both sides are meridians located for the inside the heart. But we are interested right now in the lungs, so you do this, okay? Now, if this was the foot, okay, I'm not going to show you the foot right now, but if this was the foot, in the similar area, this is the heel, let's say, this is the heel, just next to this heel area towards the toe, when you rub here in the foot, when you get up in the morning, that is the lung area there. Same thing on each side, okay, both sides. So both sides is that way. All right, so we have a situation where we can massage ourselves. Massage is the first thing you do, and then it takes a couple of minutes to do. And then the deep breath, like what you pointed out, that was great. And so I'll come back and see if we have anything else to cover for the morning or some other additional routine. But what I like to do is I like to mention to you about the functional breathing. And I'll come back and tell you about the functional breathing, what is the functional breathing, and how do you determine that? A functional breathing pattern, some of you have had an evaluation, free evaluation from me. If you are interested, please make the appointment. That will be something that you will learn, whether you do have functional breathing or not. That's number one. And functional breathing is efficient breathing. You're breathing well, your oxygen exchange is very good, everything. And you're not having other situations like no snoring, no yawning, your breathing is quieter, it's not making a lot of noise, and you're breathing through the nose and not through the mouth, and you're breathing the belly more than the chest. So there are a few things about what the functional breathing means. And in how do we find it out? We do this by the test that I'm going to request Deepak Bhai to conduct a couple of small tests, which he will describe, and he will conduct that for everyone. So go ahead, Deepak Bhai.
Okay, thank you. Today we'll check our breath holding capacity. We'll need a stopwatch, or say we have a stopwatch in a cell phone, or you can count. You can count like 1001 to whatever the score we get. So what we'll do is we'll take as a 2 normal breath, and at the end of this second breath, like exhale, what we'll do is we'll pinch our nose very lightly, and we'll hold the breath, and as soon as we hold the breath, we'll start our stopwatch, or start counting like 1001, 1002, like that. And like I said, make sure we don't pinch the nose that hard. Now then after that, you look for the first sensation of I need to breathe. Everybody is different, so everybody may get different message, like, or feeling about I need to breathe. Somebody may get feeling in the brain, or somebody gets sensation in the lung, or maybe on a face or something, or in different areas, but everybody may get different message. So at the first sensation of I need to breathe, stop the watch and stop the count, and that's your I need to breathe score. That's your I need to breathe your score. And so make sure to note down the score. And I'm going to show you on a chart that this is how it will look like. See, when we start the first normal breath, and then hold here, and when you feel like I need to breathe, that will be the score. Now, after we check the score, the breath has to be same as that we start with, same volume or same, it should not be deep or something. It should not be longer than the breath we started with. If it is longer, that means we did go a little bit too far. So that's the key to this score. Okay. So I'm going to what I'll do is I'll lead you with this thing. We'll take a 2 normal breath, and at the end of the second exhalation, everybody will hold, pinch the nose, start the stopwatch, and start counting, and take this score. I need to breathe score. Okay, so let's get ready. Sit straight, like in our whole practice, we need to sit straight, our neck straight, and we'll start taking the normal breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Hold the breath and start the stopwatch, start counting. So you can note down the score, and then we'll do this one more time. And I'll lead you again. Let's take a normal breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and pinch the nose. Hold the breath, pinch the nose, and start counting or checking the score. Then we'll do this one more time. And I'll lead you again. Let's take a normal breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and pinch the nose. Pinch the nose and start counting or checking the score. Then we'll do this one more time.
Something is wrong.
Let's take a normal breath. Okay, so everybody got that. So you can note it down, note your score, and at the end of this practice, you can put down your score in the chat box. Now the next thing is I must breathe score. Now I must breathe score is like we'll do the same thing. Take inhale and exhale twice, and at the end of the second exhale, we'll pinch the nose, start our stopwatch or start counting, and we'll try to hold it until we feel that I need to breathe. Like we'll push so that we feel like that, hey, I cannot, now I have to breathe. I cannot stay any longer. That is your score for your maximum holding capacity. Okay. Now this is how it will look like on the chart. Or this one, sorry, this one. It will be much, this will be our starting breath, but this one is like, it's much longer than this one, depending on your capacity anyway. But that's how it will look like, okay? So I'll lead again. I'll say inhale and exhale twice, and then at the end of the second exhale, you can hold, pinch your nose and hold the breath and check your score, and we'll do this 2 times, okay? Okay, so let's inhale, exhale, Inhale. Exhale. Hold the breath and pinch the nose. Start the stopwatch. Start counting. Breath and check your score. And we'll do this 2 times, okay? Okay, so let's inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold the breath and pinch the nose. Everybody's almost done, so we can note down your score, and I'll lead the second round. Let's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and hold. Pinch the nose and start counting, or so both of this score, like I need to breathe and I must breathe. You can put it in a check box, and that will be the holding capacity. Back to you, Kalind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deepak Bhai. So, what is this score? I've been reading the scores from everybody, and this is not as controlled as, like there are 30 people, so it's a little difficult to control the exact readings and exact timings and watching everybody. But many of you are 25 and around 25 and below that 25. Usually the score about 25 to 40, that's considered as to be in the functional breathing range. Now, this score is variable a lot of times, because when we make up our mind to hold a little bit more, then we always can do that. Now, the question I have for you, and I'm going to change my view so I can see everybody here, is by just show of hands only, okay? How many were below 25? Just raise your hand. First test, okay? First, 25 and below. Okay, that's okay. How many were between 25 and 30? Show of hands. Okay. All right, good. And how many there were a couple of them over 35. One person was over 35. Okay, that's good. Yeah, Sunil Bhai, I saw that one. Yeah, I saw that one. Now, only question is, when you resume the breath, was your breath a little bit more? If the breath was a little bit more, that means you stretch yourself a little bit more. The test is not as accurate, and I'll explain to you what the test is for in a minute. But that's that. Now, how many of you were able to increase the score? The second score was more than the first one. How many of you? Just raise your hand. That the score was more than the first one. Okay. Now, these scores are just basically just a single test, and it's like anything else. You do your blood test or a cardiogram or things like that. It depends a lot on what you've eaten, when you've eaten, what you're thinking about. Your anxiety level, your breathing. There's so many things that affect these scores. So the first test that we did, I need to breathe. I've got one more homework for you guys. Today, I think I'm in a homework mood. When you get up in the morning, first thing you do before even you do all the other stuff, you do this I need to breathe score. And you can also try doing all the other stuff and then do I need to breathe. See what happens. Is again your journey. You find out what happens. So, and then by the side of your bed, keep a little diary. In that diary, there's today's date, whatever date is that, write down your score. Why is that helpful? Because we are doing this, are we getting any improvement out of all this? That's one very interesting part. And we have really had, quite an interesting change in people who are attending the clinic. So I just want to open out a little bit of a couple of feedbacks here from people who have been on clinics. Just raise your hand and give me a feedback about that. Carol, okay, who's ready to give me? Carol? Feedback.
I'm not sure. When I first started.
Yeah, when you first started and practiced.
When I first started, I was at about 17 need to breathe.
Right.
And I'm now, I go from high 20s sometimes to 35.
Okay,
and I tried it both ways, before and after the exercise in the morning, and it's stronger before, and I'm more relaxed.
Okay, good. That's an interesting observation. Okay, anybody else wants to share? Pannaman, maybe?
I think I had the similar experience. I started with 17, and by practicing regularly, I increased. And like for some reason, if I don't practice for a while, it drops a little bit, but I have to keep practicing to increase. And now I'm up to 35.
I will tell you the reason why this happens. Yeah, Deepak bhai.
When I started this breath clinic, my score was around 15 to 18. And now I'm very close to 25. That is, I need to breathe score. And I must breathe score, I'm about 1 minute. Because I'm doing practice every day,
Yeah, this is the important part. What we are trying to emphasize on everyone is this, that there are close to 400 to 500 million air sacs in the lungs. Everybody, 400 to 500 million. Now, do they all open up when you take a deep breath? Not necessarily. So many times, if you don't open them up, they go to sleep. Lazy, people don't like to work. If you don't give them work, they don't work. And same thing happens with the air cells here. So you have to open them up. You have to exercise them. When you exercise them, they will be up. If you exercise them regularly, this score that we are talking about will start improving. It's very much like when you walk, half a mile and then a mile, and then how you get used to walking more and how you get, better shape. It's very similar to that. So this score really indicates very clearly, number one, what is your status of your breathing today, whenever you measure it, what is your status today? And also very much like the people know about hemoglobin A1C, like diabetes number. What's my number? 6, 7, 8, whatever. That number tells you for the last 3 months what you're eating, what you're eating, ice creams, cakes, whatever. That tells you for 3 months. Same thing is this. This will also tell you if you have been exercising your lungs or not. So this score, I need to breathe, therefore, is very indicative of what you have been exercising. So I just want to end there. I don't want to go anything more today for this one. I'll just turn it over to Pannaman for her area of practice.
I think many of you who are attending regularly, they may realize that we are practicing We are repeating our practices, and that is because by repeat practicing, we all get better, and understanding gets better. Each time we practice the same thing, what Deepak Bhai showed us, what is called BOLT score, a blood oxygen level testing, and that BOLT score and I must breathe score, even that, if we keep practicing, suddenly we feel that we are getting stronger. Today, I'm going to focus on two different breathing. One is how important it is to breathe slow and how important it is to breathe deep. Vinod, by later on, I would appreciate if you can explain the physiological part of it, but I will go for the technique first. Is that okay? Um, so through the history, it is the people who have refined the breathing. They have emphasized that when you breathe, the person sitting next to us should not be able to hear us breathing. Some people breathe loud. I mean, we are traveling in the train or in public and people breathe and you can hear them. But then the next thing is when you breathe, even you should not be able to hear it. And it should be so soft that when you breathe, you should not feel. It should be so light. So sometimes when you breathe softly in and out, it should be so light that sometimes you put your hand in front of you, you should feel it very, very gentle air moving in front of you. So that is slow breathing. So I think one time we have learned all this technique, we are repeating again. First, I would like to do about the slow breathing is we will first sit straight, legs on the floor, spine erect, head upright, and breathing only with the nose. Let us breathe for 5 and breathe out for 7, and we will pause 1 second. So let us start. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Pause. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more time. Pause. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, breathe. Did anyone feel uncomfortable doing it? You can raise the hand and talk about it. Did anyone feel uneasy by this controlled breathing? Actually, I started with the higher number. Sometimes you can start lower number. But I think now everybody has been doing it for several weeks, so I thought I can do it up. So when you are breathing in, you should always do shorter than breathe out. Breathe out should be longer. And when you pause, at that time, lungs are also stretched and oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange is becoming also more efficient. Um, Let us repeat another method. And this time, what is called box breathing. We will experiment something different. We will breathe in 4, hold 4, breathe out 4, and hold 4. Do you think we can handle it? Everyone seems okay, good. Okay, so let us start and we will do it 3 times. Let us begin. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe in 2, 3, 4. hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, breathe in, hold, 2, 3, 4. So, was it okay for most people? If you were uncomfortable, raise your hand. No. So what happens when we slow? So normally we breathe for about 12 to 15 times a minute. But when we breathe this way, we all lower our number significantly to 3 to 4 times per minute. Did any so if no one felt uncomfortable, that means we can handle it, and our lungs are at the most capacity. I will practice one more thing, and this time we'll do only twice. What we'll do is breathe in 5 times and breathe out with a puffed, like a puff our mouth, and breathe out slowly for 7. Let us do that. Only twice, okay? Let us do that. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out with a puffed mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more time. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Puff your mouth slowly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is slow breathing. When we do that, why is it important? Basically, after feeling this, does anyone want to describe how they felt after doing these 3 kinds of practices? What did they feel in themselves? Anyone want to say? Did anyone feel little calm in your mind? So it when we breathe in deep and slow breathing, our mind gets a signal, we feel calm. If you have stress, that eases off. It also works on the autonomic nervous system or parasympathetic system. Vinod bhai, do you want to describe a little bit?
What would you like me to
Vinod bhai
say
is a
about?
pulmonologist, so I think that would be better.
Okay, I will share with you about that. This is the one that I want you to remember, okay? You can take a photograph picture if you want to do that. That's up to you. This is a good one. When you inhale, few things happen. Nice thing. Actually, the sympathetic system gets stimulated, heart rate goes up, awareness increases when you, and the energization occurs. Energize. When you exhale, and you notice that that what Panaman said was inhale for 5, exhale for 7. So when you exhale, the parasympathetic system gets into the picture, heart rate goes down, relaxation and calmness comes. So now there are a number of methods based on this. Okay, I'm just going to show this to remember this. Basically, remember this picture. When you remember this picture, there are a number of techniques that people have come up with. Equal breathing, equal numbers, like 4-4-4, what we did. Holding, I didn't show holding here, just equal breath. It's called balanced breathing. You can do a balanced breathing. There's a Sanskrit name for that, and I'm not going to say that, but there's a equal breathing. Then you say exhalation is longer. That's relaxation breath. This is energizing breath. So breathing, in reality, we are basically handling this portion, that portion, and holding up there, holding down here. That's all we are doing. So in reality, this whole breathing part is very simple. It's not complicated, but it needs to be done. If you practice it, then it becomes much better for you. So I hope that the whole idea behind this practice that you did 5 and 7 was the whole idea that you're taking exhalation a little bit longer. It kicks in the parasympathetic, and that is the time when the heart also gets more circulation. So I just want Vinod Bhai to talk about this a little bit, about inhalation, exhalation physiology, if you would, Vinod Bhai.
Namaste, everybody. And we have talked about this before. And as it was mentioned that inhalation is an active process, exhalation is a passive process, like a balloon. It's an elastic recoil of the lung. When you take a deep breath, you are contracting your muscles, the intercostal muscles and the diaphragmatic muscles, also the abdominal muscles, and making more room in the lungs. So because of the negative pressure it creates, the air goes from the atmosphere to the lung. And once you let that pressure leave, then the lungs are squeezed back to your normal baseline. Now, the question is that we always stressing on a longer exhalation compared to inhalation, because one, it's a natural thing because it's a passive process. Secondly, we want to make sure there is adequate gas exchange. We all know there is more oxygen when we breathe in and there is less oxygen in the capillaries. And it's vice versa with carbon dioxide, and they diffuse because of the pressure difference. The longer we give them an opportunity or expose them to the surfaces of exchange, the better will be the exchange. So that's the idea of slowing down. And I think Purnamini just said that holding the breath, that also facilitates it. Now, when you take a deep breath, as Kalind had mentioned earlier, all the air sacs and the airways get lazy, and we just utilize only a small number of airways and air sacs for breathing. Rest of them are collapsed. So when you take a deep breath, you are opening up as many airways as possible. People may ask that, well, in general, we don't take deep breath. No, we do. Why do we yawn? What is yawning? Yawning is a nature's way of taking a deep breath. And when you yawn, it expands your lungs and opens up the airways. And we have mentioned a lot of other advantages of deep breathing is training the muscles, getting better gas exchange, and slowing down exhalation facilitates it. And Purnamini just now told about the pursed lip breathing, which we have talked before, does the same thing. So I think physiologically, it makes sense to slow down your exhalation and try to take a little hold in between inhalation and exhalation. That's in a nutshell.
I like to add that deep breathing after this, if we have few minutes, if it's okay.
Yes, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so thank you very much, Vinod Bhai. That was the slow breathing. Slow breathing, when it is slow, we are also breathing deep too. But let us experiment in slightly different way. Let us put one arm on our chest and one on our belly. Now we all have learned breathe only through the nose and try to breathe into your belly, not into your chest. So try to breathe in. Let us count 4 and breathe out 4, 5. Okay. So, and let the belly come out when you breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let us just put the arm on the belly, fix, and let's see how much chest moves. So keep a light pressure on the belly. Don't breathe with the belly. Just try to breathe with the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Does anyone find more less breathing but more pressure rather than just with the belly breathing? Yes? Okay. So the whole part is we are naturally built to, diaphragm is our one of the strongest breathing muscle. And when we breathe deep, the diaphragm is, I will stand up, and it is normally like this. And when we breathe in, diaphragm gets pressed. So, and the belly comes out, and then when we breathe out, it goes up. Now, other way we can check is if we can put our both arms on the lower chest and try to breathe in. When we breathe in, we would feel our rib cage going out a little bit. So if we can do again 4 and 5, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this emphasizes that how significant our diaphragm is, that controls in up and down movement. It also helps, we can tell by the rib cage moving out. And also when I was standing, as we breathe in, our perineal muscles also get tightened, and that helps. So our core becomes more straight, more stronger. So it also benefits, if we breathe correctly, it also benefits our core too. Then, like sometimes if we put our hands, there is something called optimal breathing. This is the last part I'm doing. Optimal breathing is when you put the arm, we put the arm in the lower rib cage. Let us breathe in deep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. And now let us put the arm near the armpit and try to breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last is, this is the top part of the lungs, which does not get much air when we breathe in a rush. So let us try to feel it. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when we breathe in deep and the oxygen goes or the air goes throughout the lung in the lower part, middle part, and the upper part, that is called the optimal breathing. And so whenever we are doing any activity at rest, we should try to consciously. So someone may ask how many times one should practice deep breathing. So if we can focus on breathing 5 to 10 minutes at a time, if we can handle it, 3 to 4 times. Is that correct, Kalind bhai? 3 to 4 times a day to start with. If we can tolerate, it helps our complete all the system significantly. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Panaman. It was excellent, understanding about both the volume of breathing as well as the rate of breathing, and also for the deeper breath. So I think there's a question here, Suryaben question here. So let me go to the question. You have a question?
Yes, I have the question, Kalind bhai. When we sleep at the night and it automatically our body function and breathing works, what kind of that breathing is? Whether
Very
we are
good-
doing
very
right
good
way
question.
or
Yeah.
wrong way.
Very good question. Excellent question. Thank you for asking. You can turn yourself mute now, and then I'll answer that. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for asking. And this is very important question, by the way. And generally, the rule of thumb is this: that whatever you breathe during the day, consciously, that gets to be the habit and that habit gets recorded in the subconscious mind. So what you breathe during the day, you transfer into the habit at night. This is one of the key principles. We'll talk more about that, not today, but we'll talk more about sleep apnea and snoring and all that. When we talk about that, you will learn that. So when you correct yourself in the daytime, you will correct yourself at nighttime also. But one thing does happen, that the respiratory center and everything relaxes. And now there are 4 stages of sleep. There are 4. Rapid eye movement is one of the 4 stages. And in one of the stages where everything relaxes, in fact, this portion, the upper portion relaxes, all the muscles. The tongue may fall back, mouth may be lit slightly open, and the way the person breathes changes. It does change. There is no question about that. And therefore, if you develop a habit of breathing, normally in like belly breathing, you will start doing the same thing. Now, there are different positions, and I'm not going to address this today because there are a number of things that I have a whole class on sleep breathing. Okay, because you're sideways and this and that. People sleep on the belly, particularly people with COVID. They're asked to sleep on the belly. There's an interesting change there because the back of the lung expands better and all that. So there's a lot more stuff. But only thing I'll tell you just to start you off is change your breathing pattern during the day. The more you change the breathing pattern during the day, the better it will be at night. Okay, that's one. The second, people who have snoring. I don't know how many snore. Your partners will know, or somebody in the room will know. Even I don't know and didn't know before I was snoring. For snoring, one of the things that we do recommend, of course, you get the sleep apnea test and all that is important, but put a tape, like a paper tape on the mouth, tape the mouth closed and sleep. That's one of the things that we recommend. And many a times that addresses the snoring part and even the, breath pattern. So more than this, I don't think we can address in this particular audience. If you have some special situation, contact me, write to me or something like that. But I hope that answers in part your question.
But is there any way we can record this kind of by watch, Apple Watch, cover sleeping patterns, snowy, air breathing like that? Is there any way?
There could be. I will have to research on that. It's like a little bit more sophisticated than what we do. I believe personally this whole progress, this whole my approach in this. Let's mute somebody. I don't know what's happening here. Mute. Okay. Thank you. My approach in the clinic and my approach and Pannamen knows and Vinod Bhai knows and everybody knows, I could make it very complicated. We can, and it is a complicated thing. But my approach is to simplify. And the less number of recording devices and stuff we bring in and depend on our own biological intelligence, because this is more intelligent than any of the equipment that we can ever create. And the intention here, and I'm coming off strong, but I do believe in it very, very strongly, that the messages that you're coming from here, we don't even look at the messages. We don't know what is happening, how whether I'm feeling, I need to breathe, for example. It's a message system. Okay, it itself is a message system. Why is it that? Because everybody gets a little message from here that the carbon dioxide is slowly going up, and our brain figures it out and says, hey, breathe now. It's not good. This is not good. The pH is going acidic, and not good. That is a message. All of you did this 30 seconds. But, just remember that if somebody is choking you inside a pillow, somebody's trying to kill you, it'll take you 3 minutes to kill somebody. So you don't die for 3 minutes. What happened? 30 seconds, you're 30, 35 seconds, you're already feeling. So it is not the oxygen, the carbon dioxide. That's the chemical message. So the body really knows extremely well. So the more we learn through these practices, I really want to simplify and then complicate it. You can do a research on the Apple Watch and let us know if there is something like that. Now there are there are things that are used, that are like we do in research we do. Vinod bhai, we have the things like that, right? Respiratory pulmonary research. You have these little bands here and band down there in the belly and record it and something. You have that?
Yeah, those belts are used to record the movement of the chest and the abdomen, especially during the sleep test. That's a part of the sleep test.
Part of the sleep test. Yeah, it is possible to get all these gadgets. But I would like to simplify it. There are more simpler things to learn from our own body, and if we learn more about that from the body, we have, it's interesting that you're asking this question, but we have had. I worked with a gentleman in Hyderabad, in Bangalore, and we have been able to help a lot of people get off even sleep apnea, even the CPAP, through just adjustment of these various practices. So, in a way, I would have to say, I don't know enough about this equipment stuff, and I'll have to research that. Okay, so I don't know enough. Anybody else? Any other question?
So you answered the question, but I still wanted to ask the question that I was asking is that I'm on CPAP and you think that this breathing exercise is what you are suggesting. If we keep on practicing, it is possible to get rid of the CPAP use?
Not the ones I'm suggesting now. There are some special practices. There is a whole set of practices that are there that for special purposes we suggest special. Some of these are the beginning. This is only the beginning. And if you are really interested, we can contact me and we can figure out a way to share with you more. Some common practices we can tell you. But people who are already on a CPAP, because it's one of those things, if I take people off CPAP, you will be very unhappy, right?
Will be unhappy because the patient is not going to do well.
Yeah. It's a fine line going by. It's a fine line between patient may not do well and getting better from exercises. And that fine line is between these practices and the pulmonologist. So we are riding that, It's very important. I'll tell you that, let me stop recording. This is not, I don't want to go on record on this one.